special treat for you. We're going to be doing a quick warm-up stretch with Yolanda Reyes from Aerial Arts, Art Flying Aerial. I would like to introduce Ruby Romero from Riverside University's Health System Behavioral Health Family Advocate Program to open our walk with a few words.
Take a moment and look around. Every person here has a story. Every person here has a reason for showing up. Some of us have walked through the darkness ourselves. Some of us have stood beside someone we love as they fought to find the light. And all of us are here because we believe in hope. Mental illness touches every family and every community. It does not discriminate. And yet, too often, stigma forces people into silence. That silence can feel crushing, like isolation, shame, and fear. But today, we break that silence. Today, we say with every step, you are not alone. There is help. There is hope. I'm reminded of a quote by John Green. There is hope even when your brain tells you there isn't. That's what today is about, choosing to believe in hope, even when life feels overwhelming. This walk is more than a fundraiser. It's a declaration, it's a promise that we will keep showing up, keep speaking out, and keep fighting for a world where mental health is treated with the same urgency and compassion as physical health. As you walk today, think about your reason for being here. Hold on to that name, that face, that memory. Let it remind you that what we're doing here matters. And while you walk, share your story. Listen to someone else's. These conversations are how change begins. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. Thank you for believing in hope. Together we are stronger. Together we are changing lives. Let's make this walk count. And now we are honored to have with us today Council Member Quintanilla from the city of Palm Desert. Please welcome her as she comes forward to share a few words.
Thank you very much, Ruby, and thank you to all of you that are here. When NAMI said this is taking place, rain or shine, absolutely, let's get that woo. And a woo to yourself, because you understand that mental health does not take a rain day. In fact, rainy days may make things a little bit more challenging because you can't get out on that walk, you can't go and absorb the sunshine that gets you feeling great. So thank you for being here and remembering our loved ones. This is a very special event for me, a very special cause, not only because of my own challenges and opportunities to grow, because mental health is not always something negative. It's an opportunity for compassion as you look at what you would want from others. I have 3 nephews that are autistic, and one of the reasons that has pushed me so hard to keep advocating for neurodiversity, because we often have people thinking that autism is little boys under the age of 8 and they outgrow it, or that they can spot somebody that looks depressed. Those are the stigmas that we're trying to erase. And as a matter of my incessant pushing and advocacy, I'm proud to say that last May, Palm Desert became the first city in California and the second in the United States to be autism certified. And I also, before I share the proclamation, I know that this is an excellent place to get resources. I just wanted to take an extra moment of time to promote the Blue Envelope program that the Riverside County Sheriff's Office has, and you'll see their wonderful booth over there. And I want everyone to know the benefit of this program is to have advocacy. It will let an officer know about the need of that driver. If you have, for example, Parkinson's and you are shaking, You can let someone know this is a neurological reason that I'm shaking, not because I'm guilty of something. Learn about their program, see some of the opportunities to maximize that. And also a special needs reunification program. If you have a loved one that will elope or leave your home, this is a program that will have an alert in the system, that will have a picture and will recognize some of the places that your loved one may frequent to allow a quicker reunification, which is especially important during the summer months or when people need to take their medication and many other sensitive matters, and also safety and security. This year I was able to get a proclamation from the City of Palm Desert recognizing NAMI. Whereas the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. And whereas NAMI Coachella Valley provides education, advocacy, and support to individuals and families throughout our community, ensuring that mental health is recognized as essential to overall well-being. And whereas the annual NAMI Walks Coachella Valley event held on November 15, 2025 at the Palm Desert Civic Center Park unites residents, families, and organizations in the shared mission of promoting mental health for all. And whereas through walking together, sharing stories, and lifting one another in hope, participants demonstrate the power of community in breaking stigma and advancing understanding of mental health. Whereas this event encourages awareness, reduces stigma, and reminds every participant that no one walks alone in their journey towards recovery and understanding. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Mayor, Jan Harnick, and all of the council members signing above hereby proclaim November 15, 2025 as NAMI Walks Coachella Valley Day. Palm Desert encourages all residents to join in supporting efforts that promote compassion, inclusion, and hope for all who face mental health challenges. Thank you for having this event here in the center of the valley. Thank you for coming out, rain or shine, and thank you for letting me have a moment of your time.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to see so many people here today gathered to amplify our mission, to let everyone living with a mental health condition know that we hear them and that we heed their needs. We get things done. NAMI Walks is more than just a fundraising event. It's a fun-raising event, too. There's nothing somber about doing serious things. To mental health challenges, we raise a mental health cheer. For every no a person faces, we offer them our smiling faces and a kind word. We say yes. By the end of the walk, we will know each other better, and in doing so, we will have brought out the best in each other. Our walks have grown steadily since they started in 2003, and we are now one of the largest fundraising events in the country. Last year, we raised more than $15.6 million and had more than 81,000 participants across the nation. I think that is awesome. And here in the Coachella Valley, we've already raised $36,000.60. $36,000.60. 2 hours of sleep, sorry guys. For this year's event. Give yourself a round of applause and thank you to everyone who donated and registered for the walk. What you're raising matters. It matters for those in the community who are living with a mental health condition or caring for a loved one with a mental health condition. Your donations help fund critical mental health programs and services for our community. These include family and peer connection recovery support groups, in-person and virtual, family-to-family education sessions, mountain respite camp for peers, holiday party for peers, and tabling at resource fairs to spread the word about mental health. In addition, NAMI has a free helpline. Part of mental health for all is having a number to call and a caring voice on the other end. The NAMI helpline is a nationwide peer support service providing information, resource, referrals, and support to people living with a mental health condition, their family members and caregivers, mental health providers, and the public. Helpline staff and volunteers are experienced, well-trained, and able to provide guidance. You can reach the helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI. Thanks to NAMI advocates, mental health is a major priority for policymakers in Washington, D.C. and in our state. Together, you are truly making a difference in the lives of those touched by a mental health condition. I can't begin to thank you enough for all that you've done for our mission with your participation in NAMI Walks. You don't just dream of a better tomorrow, you deliver it. You are NAMI Walks.
All right. Thank you, Christine. It's inspiring to see your advocacy and fundraising in action in both local and national level. From education programs in our community to strengthening and continued implementation of 988 and the three-digit telephone number for mental health or substance abuse crisis. Now I'd like to invite Jose Julio Flores Murillo to join us as NAMI Coachella Valley board member and someone with lived experience. Jose understands firsthand the importance of mental health and community. Please help me welcome Jose as he shares a few words with us. Jose?
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here with all of you for NAMI Walks, a day that reminds us of the power of community, understanding, and hope. Before we talk about mental health, I want to start to talk about a passion of mine, etymology. For those who might not be aware, it is the study of where words come from and how they change over time. That might sound distant from the struggles people face every day, but in truth, language shapes how we see the world and how we see each other. If we look at the history of mental health through this lens, we find a trail of words that once carried misunderstanding and fear. The word lunatic comes from the Latin luna, meaning moon. People once believed mental illness was caused by the phases of the moon. Words like mad, deranged, and insane became labels that stripped people of their humanity. Even the word asylum once meant a place of refuge, but over time it came to represent isolation, a place where people were hidden away instead of helped. These changes in meaning reveal how society's fear and discomfort became embedded in the very language we use. Language still matters. The words we use can either carry stigma or build understanding. When we call someone crazy or weak, even casually, those words echo deeply. They can make someone feel ashamed for struggling. They can make families question if they did something wrong, if somehow they caused it. But the truth is, mental illness is not a failure of character or of parenting. It is a human condition that deserves care, not blame. Families often carry invisible weight, the guilt of wondering, what could I have done differently? Or, how did I miss the sign? Words can either add to that burden or help relieve it. When we speak with compassion, when we say my loved one is living with depression, instead of my loved one is depressed, we shift from judgment to understanding. We acknowledge that mental illness is something someone experiences, not something that defines them nor their family. Many of us here have lived this. as individuals, as family members, as friends. We've seen how a careless word can cut, and how a kind word can heal. The moment someone says, "You're not alone," a wall begins to crumble. The moment a caregiver hears, "This is not your fault," something heavy begins to lift. That's the quiet power of language. It can either isolate or connect, wound or heal. So today, as we walk, let's think about the words we carry with us. Let's trade the language of blame and stigma for the language of hope and respect. Because every step, every conversation, every word can help rewrite the story of mental health in our community. The next generation will inherit the words we choose today. Let's make sure those words reflect compassion, dignity, and truth. Thank you for walking, for listening, and for helping create a world where no one feels ashamed for needing help and no family feels alone in their journey.
Jose, thank you so much for being here and sharing this moment with us. It truly means a lot. And it's a privilege to welcome Alma Reyna. As a parent, her experience reminds us why NAMI Walks matters. She's here to share what this community has meant to her. So let's give her a warm welcome. Make some noise for Alma, everybody.
Hello. Being a caregiver changes the way you see the world. You start to understand how heavy life can feel for someone you love and how much strength it takes just to face another day. You learn to listen more. You show love in quiet ways. You become patient. NAMI gives caregivers information, tools, support. Without NAMI, I would not have survived after my son was diagnosed with schizophrenia, only to find out I have other family members. I continue to volunteer in programs such as this on a rainy night, on a rainy morning, because if we don't advocate for our children, who will? NAMI is here for us. NAMI is here for our family. We need to support NAMI so that we can all survive and get through these terrible times, and they don't have to be so terrible, with support and information and the tools that NAMI provide. Thank you.
Today's event wouldn't be possible without the support of our generous sponsors. If you haven't already visited our sponsors, I'd encourage you to say hello at their tables and tents. And I want to give a special shout out to our presenting sponsor, Riverside University Health System, Behavioral Health. Make some noise. And our gold sponsors, Coachella Valley Behavioral Health and CAMI, that's Corgis Against Mental Illness. Thank you again to all our sponsors. Your support for this event is very appreciated. We also want to thank our amazing participants and give special recognition to our Walk Stars. Our Walk Stars are an elite group of fundraisers who have raised $1,000 or more individually for today's events. And a special recognition for Cookie Nguyen, our top fundraiser of $4,240. Make some noise for Cookie Nguyen. All right, we got that picture. Perfect. Very cute corgi, by the way. Shout out to Cami. Cookie has been able to demonstrate her passion for NAMI and not only raising this amount, but also working to help plan the success of the event. We personally thank her for everything she does for NAMI and the Coachella Valley. One more time for Cookie Nguyen. And also our top fundraising team for the event, Corgis Against Mental Illness, also known as CAMI, raised a collective $2,300 for today's event. CAMI is a local nonprofit focused on having corgis support those struggling with mental illness. We're happy to have support of CAMI and the founder, Tiffany, to have spoken at today's event. Thank you, CAMI and Cookie, for your contributions and your success. All right, everybody. Spread the word about what we're doing so others can help join us from afar. So let's start right now. I got my phone out. I'm gonna take a giant group selfie of everyone out here today and post on my story and show the world that we are together for mental illness. If you guys... All right, that'll be under hashtag NAMI Walks, and you guys can do so as well. As we put one foot over the other, taking steps to raise awareness about mental health. Tally for the day, that is $36,195. Make some noise, everybody. That is our final confirmation for today. We hope to see you all next year. This is the final closing remarks. Thank you so much. Be on the lookout for the date once it has been confirmed. Next year, we'll cross our fingers for no rain. The one time it rains in the year, next year, I pray for some sunshine. Once again, thank you for joining us at NAMI Walks, Coachella Valley. Get home safe, and we hope to see you next year, if not before. Have a good day, everybody. Stay dry.